I'm going to lighten it up a little bit because that's where my mind works. Just keep in mind I'm an elementary school teacher. So when we work together, very often we think about things in absolutes, right? It's either the end of the world in education and there's a zombie apocalypse and we are fighting uphill to make sure that we're going to do everything we can for the kids, or everything's just amazing, right? Just let kids be kids, let them hot glue gun each other to the wall, everything's going to be okay, right? Unfortunately, is that really the reality, right? The reality is definitely not in my home if people were to come in and see what kind of parenting we do. I am great at telling other parents what to do. However, when you come into our house, you might see my 65-pound 5-year-old body slamming and choking out my 3-year-old, who then gets up and is like, Jiggy, I love you. Okay? So, we have narratives that we tell ourselves and that we buy into, right? Good versus evil. But I like Forrest Gump, right? Everything's simple. You take things one day at a time. At the end of the day, the page turns and you believe that there is enough good out there that it will overwhelm any poor days that you have. Now, Bill and Diane was not the first draft of a John Cougar Mellencamp song. And you don't have to buy in 100% to what Diane says and say Bill is evil or vice versa. You are smart enough to be able to take a little bit from both people and then figure out where the chips lie for you. Right? Now, these people are probably really good people, right? And God, I envy the way they can monetize what they do. But they don't know everything. And they'll be the first ones to tell you that. That's not even her broom, all right? I can guarantee you she's never sat in that desk, okay? But unfortunately, we live in a culture where we think we can reform something without ever having attended it, right? Tell me the last time she walked into a public school classroom, okay? That would be time one. All right? And unfortunately, as much as I love the hero-teacher myth, that's not real, right? We put people on pedestals so we can knock that pedestal out and they can fall to the floor. And then there's equity, right? Because we're all average. But God forbid we expect 100% achievement. We ask every kid to walk in a straight line. And then we wonder why we're teaching kids for college, career, and incarceration. Because that's the only other place where you got to walk in a straight line. We tell people embrace the squiggle. But then we'll treat you to this gym where it's $10 a month. And everything's the same. What sense does that make? There's a difference between standardization and having high standards. And I think sometimes we lose that, right? So we create these systems. This is a really pretty elementary school that's not built for kids because I can see my reflection in the mirror and there's no kids work there. That's a jail. Tell me the difference between the two besides the color. That's a problem. That's something we really need to think about. Because we talk great about innovation, right? We know these people, and we'll lease with an option to buy. We'll do it for 6 months or a year. And then when the oil change needs to come, we bring it back, we say the car's defective, right? I want to put a hamburger right in the middle of that right there. Hate you.
That's all that slide was.
If we're going to create and consume and build other people to do the same, we cannot say it's us versus them, nor can we throw out all the instruction manuals and say, just build. Do whatever you want. That's why I love Forrest Gump. He believes in love. All of you love education. You love one another. We come together as a tribe and we say, we're going to do this together. And I'll help you. I'll facilitate that knowledge. When I wasn't sure what I was going to do for this, I went to Jason Flom and he said, we'll do it together, right? And then he crushed it. Unfortunately, not everybody's Batman. Some people are like little Unikitty. There's nothing wrong with that. And we can fail forward happily. Look at Boba Fett. 30 years ago, he got a job. He had no lines. Now he's awesome. Everybody loves him. Mark Hamill, he was just in the movie. He didn't have a single line. He wishes he were Boba Fett. So even though everything's not awesome, we should be able to tell kids every day, you nailed something. We should feel that way too. Go home on our worst day and know that we were best for kids somehow because we helped them hide the peas. Because even though everything's not awesome, it can be on Taco Tuesday.